a little bit ahead of ourselves, but that's all right. We're getting you set for the Birds' battle with the 49ers. Let's huddle up. Lincoln Financial Field will once again be filled today for the regular season home opener, restored to its former glory. Nearly 70,000 strong. Back to the Birds. We're here to help you out with all of the Sunday action, from your fantasy football team to prop bets and beyond. Hello and welcome to Birds Huddle, presented by PointsBet. I am Taryn Hatcher. Here with me is our betting expert, Brad Feinberg. Great to have you back for week 2 here, Brad.
I can't wait.
I know, us either. The question now, though, is, Brad, how did week 1 treat you after all?
Well, Taryn, we've heard of career years, right? Well, I had a career week. I went 28-6 in my props, 5-1 on my sides. I'm hoping that week 2 can be as fruitful.
Wow, a little humble brag from Brad to start. All right, let's now get to it. Could I get a line, please? The Eagles back home today, and they're 3-point underdogs. Pretty much the same as last week when they won outright in Atlanta. The money line on the Birds is plus 130. Brad, now we think we know this Eagles team a little bit better. How do you see this one playing out?
Here, Taryn, we talked about value, right? Last week, they were getting 3.5 against Atlanta. Now they're getting 3. 3 is king in the NFL. 15% of the NFL games land on the number 3. Look, I think this line, Taryn, should have been closer to 2.5 for San Francisco. So the reason, in my opinion, there's value in taking Philadelphia is because we are getting those 3 points. So Philadelphia, they lose the game by a field goal. Instead of us losing our wager, we now tie. No harm, no foul. I think because of that 3, Taryn, we're getting nice value in Philadelphia this week.
All right, the value is there. All right, let's now bring in our Eagles insider, Ruben Frank. Rube, how you doing out there?
How's it going, guys?
Can you hear me okay? I know it's loud. The fans, they're already at it today. They're in mid-season form right now.
The atmosphere is unbelievable, but it's been so long since we had packed tailgate lots, people going crazy here pregame. The lots were full when I pulled up around 8:30. It's really exciting to have this atmosphere back.
Yeah, it's electric for sure. All right, Nick Sirianni is now 20-1 to win Coach of the Year. Only 5 coaches favored ahead of him currently. Week 1, certainly impressive. Do we think that we walk away from today feeling even better about the Birds coach?
Well, I'll tell you what I said after the Atlanta game, and what I'll say for today's game is my opinion won't change based on one game. They nailed this hire, Nick Sirianni, and you could see this throughout training camp as this team changed its culture from really a team that was in shambles at the end of last year, changing coaches, changing quarterbacks, 4-win team a year ago. He changed the culture. So whatever happens today, whatever happens in Atlanta, they have the right guy at the helm, and I think they're on the right track. Now, whether they go 9-8 this year or 10-7 or whatever it is, they're going in the right direction, and I would think by next year they're going to be ready to challenge for something pretty special. So I would say even if they lose today, my opinion of Nick won't change. They got the right guy.
A big part of the Eagles, change in look has to do with Jalen Hurts. He looked like a franchise QB in week 1. His over-under on passing yards today is set at 234.5. Now, do you expect him to perform well? What do you expect to see from him from a much better defense here in week 2?
Yeah, it wasn't a great defense against the Lions, but they are a better defense than certainly the Falcons were. I think he'll see a lot more looks. I think he'll be challenged a lot more. Things won't come as easy for Jalen Hurts against the Niners. So I want to see how he responds. There's going to be adversity today. He didn't have any adversity in the opener. Maybe there's a turnover. Maybe there's a couple 3-and-outs in a row. Maybe they fall behind. So I want to see how he responds. We talk so much about his athleticism and his throwing ability. What I really like about Jalen Hurts is the mental aspect of his game. He's very mentally strong. He sees the field. He understands what defenders are doing to him, and that's what I want to see from him today. And I think that's the real challenge. Be more of a challenge than the Falcons gave him, but I think he'll be ready.
Yeah, and it's not as if Jalen Hurts has not dealt with adversity throughout his career. Be sure to check out Rube and Dave Zangaro on the Eagle Eye podcast. Rube, thank you so much for your time here, bud.
All right, guys, enjoy the game.
All right, Brad, we know you're a numbers guy. I think that's fair to say. But the question becomes, do you like the vibes around this Eagles team? How much does energy factor into what you're doing when it comes to, there's certainly a lot of excitement around the Birds right now.
Taryn, I think so much of sports is exactly that. The vibe, the energy, everything about it. And look, let's be honest. Last year, Carson Wentz, there wasn't a great vibe. I'm not sure how popular he was in the locker room, and I think that affects things. From everything I've heard, Jalen Hurts seems to be a guy that people love. They want to rally behind. They have a new coach in Coach Sirianni, like Rube pointed out. I think it's huge, Taryn, and because of that, I think Philadelphia's year is looking a lot more bullish now than it was before.
Yeah, they certainly have momentum on their side right now. All right, let's now send it over to our friend Warren Sharp from NBC Sports Edge to get his take on today's game. Stay sharp.
The Philadelphia Eagles are underdogs of 3 points at home on Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers. I think this is a great spot for some value on these Eagles. The Eagles are going up against a 49ers team that, though they stayed east in West Virginia and didn't have to deal with the travel, are dealing with substantial injuries on the defensive side of the football. They've lost multiple players in their secondary, including their number one overall cornerback just last week in the game against the Lions. Philadelphia was actually skewing a little bit more pass heavy early in the game last week against the Falcons. They ended up being more balanced in the second half with such a huge lead at halftime. But this team is going to throw the ball and have some success against this San Francisco 49ers secondary. Philadelphia was also extremely good on the ground running the football. And the Detroit Lions actually had a lot of success running the football against this 49ers defense last week. I don't think there's enough respect yet in the marketplace for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think we still can capitalize on that for another week. I like Philadelphia to cover this 3-point spread.
All righty, thank you, Warren. The 0-1 Cowboys in California today against the Chargers. Could they be headed for yet another L? Plus, what games Brad is eyeing up after giving out quite a few winners last week. This is Birds Huddle presented by PointsBet.